Well, thank you very much for joining us on this NTV on the road, NTV at 1. This is the Dala edition, and we're coming to you live from Dunga Hill Camp, which is on the shores of the Great Lake Victoria. It's a beautiful scene, and I must just tell you, my director was telling me we are about to go live, and I said no, we are about to go live. Let's get into the stories now. And the Kenya Medical Practitioners and Dentists Union, that's KMPDU, is to address the media this afternoon, just 2 days before the 21-day strike notice issued by the union elapses. Now, doctors are expected to begin a nationwide strike this Monday. Now, this is in protest of welfare and safety concerns during the COVID-19 pandemic. And our reporter Charity Mwangi is there, is at the union's headquarters, and is going to be giving us a brief of that in just a bit. But still staying on the health issues, as the COVID-19 pandemic onslaught continues and a looming strike, a looming national medical strike edging closer, the West Pokot area leaders are raising the red flag over what they say is a poor state of health services. And Anita Nkonge has the details.
The COVID-19 pandemic has highlighted the important role health services play. A well-equipped medical facility and content health workers go a long way in ensuring the wellness of their community. Here in West Pokot, however, leaders say the facilities in Kapenguria County Hospital and various other health centers within the county are in a deplorable state.
This is the highest level of referral in this country. And if you look, even if you just film the gullies here, and the walkways here, you can tell that we have a big situation.
Dilapidated equipment, shortage of vital drugs, and poor service delivery due to a lack of ambulance services is the order of the day at the county hospital. Empty wards a prominent reminder of the medical staff who are currently on strike. The deplorable conditions have forced patients to seek medical services from neighboring hospitals instead. The leaders are now calling on the county governor to intervene on the matter and for doctors and nurses to reach an agreement with the county government.
I want to ask Governor that you can leave everything else and just come and focus on this referral hospital so that people can live. Right now, a lot of our people have gone to Trans Nzoia, they have gone to Eldoret to get treatment. The wards here are empty, and we may say because the doctors strike, but we need to begin to bring our people back, bring our people to good health.
Sisi tu tunataka kuambia governor, huko na pesa ambayo tumepitisha hata supplementary juzi. Kuna watu madaktari hapa walipata promotion na nurses. Mwaka jana sasa mpaka leo wako tuna karatasi lakini hakuna pesa. Ile motivation tumetembea hata kuangalia, tumeenda pale renal unit. Tunaona pia hata ile usafi peke yake haiko. So tungeomba waziri pamoja na governor na timu yako mjue wale wanatoa huduma hapa wana risk maisha yao kwa kuhudumia watu wakati huu wa corona.
In Baringo County, the situation is similar. An ailing health sector has forced residents to seek medical attention in neighboring counties. Thankfully, a much-needed injection of 1.6 million shillings and donation of ICU equipment by the Mozart Betting Company is on its way.
We decided, ever since the onset of the pandemic in Kenya, to look at our healthcare facilities and do something in that regard. We are here today with a donation of equipment for the critically ill patients, or those who need intensive care.
Tumefurahi sana, tumepata maternity, na tukiangalia hii maternity imefanana na ile tunapatanga huko mbele. Sasa nina imani kwamba sasa hatutapoteza wamama.
Anita Nkonge, NTV.
All right, and in case you see us moving, remember we are on the lake, we're actually on a boat, and so it's not that we are falling or anything, it's just the lake stories. Now, meanwhile, the rollout of vaccines to fight the COVID-19 pandemic will not by itself eliminate the deadly coronavirus, and this is according to the World Health Organization, which says many countries around the world are still facing very high transmission rates. WHO also says that decisions made by citizens and governments would determine when the pandemic would ultimately come to an end.
Progress on vaccines gives us all a lift, and we can now start to see the light at the end of the tunnel. However, WHO is concerned that there is a growing perception that the pandemic is over. The truth is that at present, many places are witnessing very high transmission of the virus.
I have seen vaccines transform the world and change the course of epidemics, and I fully expect that these vaccines and the ones that are to come will do that. And that will take the pressure off the health system.
Chief Justice David Maraga has called on Parliament, to amend the Sexual Offences Act to cover underage offenders while retaining stiffer penalties for adults. Maraga has expressed his displeasure with the high numbers of underage offenders at male prisons. Now, sentiments echoed by leaders in Nakuru County, and this is where he was speaking during the opening of a new wing at the Nakuru Law Courts.
Number of young men incarcerated on matters that probably even at the time when they committed, they were not in their true mature sense, would require a bit of review. And I think together we can be able to achieve the goal of protecting our girls in our society, while at the same time not sending our boys and our youth into years of incarceration.
I request maybe the judiciary to look into introducing the youth justice system, and in this system they also introduce youth justice centers. A center, if a police or court find this is a petty offense, they are redirected to those centers and be introduced, or they're being taught on the legal information.
The challenges that the Sexual Offences Act have raised are matters that the judges have interacted with. Judge Ouko here will tell you that we have had quite serious challenges with minimum sentences in an act of parliament. But since the Muruatetu decision, quite a number of matters are dealt with. We have serious challenges. The boys and girls are our children.
The Kenya Ferry Services is set to be dissolved and its functions transferred to the Kenya Ports Authority, implying that the Likoni floating bridge, whose construction is in the final stages, will be managed by the KPA. Transport and Infrastructure Cabinet Secretary James Macharia, who was in Mombasa inspecting the bridge, also revealed that the government is working on constructing the Mombasa Gate Bridge that will allow vehicles to drive across the channel, and Kevin Mutai has the details.
The wait is almost over for more than 300,000 ferry users as construction of the Likoni floating bridge nears completion, with 92% of the project complete. The engineers are now racing against time to install pontoons at the 150-meter section. This is the suspended area of the bridge that will be powered by electricity to open and close so as to allow cargo vessels navigate to the port of Mombasa. The government maintains that the floating bridge was just a temporary solution to arrest the spread of COVID-19, revealing that there are plans for another mega project that will see vehicles drive across the channel.
Mombasa Gate Bridge, that's a long-term solution. That bridge will be about 70 meters high to allow the ships to come under. That project is being designed right now. We believe we shall go to tender after design is complete by the month of June 2021.
Transport Cabinet Secretary James Macharia says construction of the Mombasa Gate Bridge will take 4 years, and that once complete, the Likoni floating bridge will be dismantled and relocated to somewhere else. Some of the ferries will also be withdrawn from the channel, and those remaining will only be available for vehicles.
So the entire infrastructure of this port would like to be coordinated, integrated, and done through Kenya Ports Authority. And that's why we have had an executive order through the President that now Kenya Ferry Services will be now collapsed into KPA.
This also means that all functions of the Kenya Ferry Services will be transferred to Kenya Ports Authority. The 1.9 billion shillings floating bridge is expected to be opened to the public later this month. Kevin Mutai, NTV in Mombasa.
Senate Minority Whip Mutula Kilonzo Jr. has criticized leaders opposing the constitutional amendments, saying the corrupt ones fear the proposed laws on corruption will send them to jail. Mutula says that the document proposal to have corrupt cases be heard in less than 6 months is said to be a nightmare for them.
Kuna wanaume unaona wakiongea tu. Wanaongea sana. They know why they are opposing this document. I'm telling you. In 6 months, na ninakuambia kama wewe unataka kiti ujumbe governor, in this document in 6 months utalala ndani ukikuwa mwizi. 6 months. They are opposing this document because they are thieves of public funds. Yes. They are billionaires through public funds. In this document, 6 months utalala ndani and all your assets will be taken away.
To some sad news now, and 4 people died on the spot last evening after a head-on collision between a private car and a lorry belonging to Kenya Power, and this is along the Machakos-Kitui Highway. Machakos County Commander, that's Isa Mohammed, says the car was headed to Kitui while the lorry was bound for Machakos. The bodies of the casualties were taken to Machakos Hospital mortuary as both vehicles were towed to Machakos Police Station. According to eyewitnesses, the occupants of the lorry fled the scene unhurt. The accident, which occurred just a kilometer from Machakos town, caused a heavy traffic snarl-up along the Machakos-Kitui road as many motorists were traveling up country, and it comes at a time when security agencies have intensified road inspection.
Overspeed nikiangalia. Alafu ni kama huyu driver wa hiyo Kenya Power alikuwa amejaribu kucontrol kushika brake, lakini unapata wengine walikuwa wame overspeed.
Wahakikishe kama ni overtake, unaangalia kama barabara iko clear, ndio usije ukaingia kwa shida kama hii yenye tumepata leo.
The small mistakes we can avoid, because if you see this road is a bend, is a continuous line, continuous yellow line. One is not supposed to overtake at all.
Now let's move to matters of forestry and the environment conservation, and the Kenya Forest Service is defending itself from allegations that it violated human rights during previous operations to evict persons who had encroached the Mau forest. Now, speaking during the graduation of KFS officers at the Londiani College, Environment Chief Administrative Secretary, that's Mohammed El Elmi, said that the Ministry of Environment is now partnering with the United Nations Environment Program, that is UNEP, and the Kenya Human Rights Commission to ensure KFS rangers have the required capacity to deal with squatters during evictions. And KFS also says surveillance against encroachers and illegal loggers has been stepped up during this festive season.
To tackle this matter, my ministry has partnered with the United Nations Development Program and the Kenya Human Rights Commission on Human Rights to develop training curriculum and teaching manuals for trainers and other stakeholders. This curriculum will streamline the human rights-based approach to their work operations.
And therefore encouraging Kenyans, wherever they are, those forest resources are yours. And therefore you must be the first defender of those forests. Kenya Forest Service can only come to complement that. But more so, I also want to challenge Kenyans, when they go for Christmas, let them plant a tree in their own farmland to celebrate the good year that we have had, despite challenge that we have been reserved.
All right, now let's move from boat to boat, and not too far from here, Zainab Ismail and the rest of the team are at the Dunga boardwalk at the Dunga beach, where they're going to be giving us a different perspective of what to expect tonight on their stories when they're also aboard a boat, and then she will take us on a break on NTV at 1. Zainab.
You are. We're along the lake, the shores of Lake Victoria at Dunga Beach, but we've just been taking around at the Dunga Papyrus Boardwalk. It is one of the attraction sites that Kisumu County boasts of. We've been taking a look at some of the tourist attractions, including the Kitmikai here. We'll be giving you more details of that. But before I get into it, behind me is the Dunga Fish Market. This is one of the most famous fish landing sites in Kisumu County. After this, we'll be actually taking a bite of and just a taste of the fish right from the lake. But very quickly, I'm joined by the manager of the Dunga Boardwalk, the Papyrus Boardwalk. We'll be seeing in just a moment, Edgar Otieno, just to give us a glimpse of really what this has to offer. Edgar, thank you for joining us. What can we find at the boardwalk in terms of it being a tourist attraction site?
Dunga itself is an ecotourism center. Yeah, it does a lot of things. Yeah. So there the boardwalk, even you can see it through this place. We have a mini museum at the boardwalk. We have a watchtower where you can view the real view of the lake, the wetland, and the beach. Yeah, and you can view even the Dunga itself. It's really big. Very long watchtower. We have an orangery, a place where you can take pictures, host a small party, video.
Bird watching as well? Yeah,
and bird watching. Right now, we are within the shores of the Dunga wetland, the place where we always do bird watching. So every Monday, if you come to the boardwalk, at exactly 6:30, you will find us starting our bird watching. Yeah, so we'll go along the shores of the wetland to view specific species of birds.
How many species of birds can we probably find here?
Over 77 species of birds.
Wow. Yeah. And maybe one of the issues that we also talked about earlier on was the fact that this boardwalk was supposed to enhance or conserve the wetland over here?
Like I said, the boardwalk was meant to protect and to conserve the wetland. So through that, we bring in ecotourism, part of it, like I said, bird watching. So we try to market it to bring in more tourists, international and local. Yes.
And do you feel like the COVID-19 pandemic has probably affected the state of tourism specifically here?
Yeah, it has. Because many tourists are not traveling to this place. Like you said, the beach is a very famous place. So right now, because of the COVID, a lot of tourists are not coming in. So you'll find many commercial zones are being closed. And at the boardwalk there, we register a low number of tourists. Yeah, so during our bird watching, we always do it local. But during the other times when there was not COVID, we will have a total of 20 to 50 tourists joining us during our bird watching and coming to our center over there. Right. Yes, to view the wetland, to know more about Dunga, yes, and to view our artifacts.
All right.
Yes.
Thank you so much, Edgar Otieno. There, such a young man. He's the manager of the Papyrus Boardwalk here at Dunga Beach. And right now, we're just going to finish our ride, our boat ride here along the shores of Lake Victoria. We head back to the fish market, probably get a few tilapia. Probably also we'll bring you some, our director, Miss CK. So we'll take a short break. When we come back, there's still much more that Dan Mwangi will be telling us. Stay with us.
Raukia siku njema na tunukiwa offers kila siku. Pata offers zote mahali pamoja ili uongeze zaidi, utume SMS zaidi na ubrowse zaidi.
Wewe usijali, tuma namba ya kila supplier kwa hiyo soko. Ndio vile nitaongea na kila mmoja wao. Mwaka sasa. Unajua leo ndio siku yangu ya kutafutia hii mmea yangu bei nzuri sokoni. Na kuna mtu nimepewa namba yake nimpigie nimuelezee pole pole. Ndio unajua na mama wengi sana huko sokoni. Ni ofa gani mzuri leo?
Very good. Piga *444# utunukiwe Credo double. Sio kwangu, rudi. Rudi soon.
For 50 years, Kenya Reinsurance Corporation has been a reliable provider of reinsurance security and services for most classes of insurance business to over 265 companies in over 62 countries in Africa, Middle East and Asia. Guided by strong core values and certified on 2 global ISO standards, Kenya Re aims to provide seamless stability. To ensure we serve our customers better, we have regional offices in Cote d'Ivoire, Zambia and Uganda. Kenya Re, celebrating 50 years of reinsurance excellence.
Chrissy Bila worries. Chrissy na Naivas is now on with the biggest and tastiest offers this festive season. Every day, 350 winners Kula shopping voucher worth 2,000 shillings. All you need to do is simply present your Naivas card when you shop for your chance to be one of the winners. Naivas saves you money.
God, jana ulipotea hivyo baada ya kupepa ule mtemu kwa potapota ukaenda hivyo. Unajua huyo mrembo alinipeleka hadi kwa nyumba. Nikasema mimi siedi kulalisha masikio. Nikatapa shughuli.
Jamaa mbona mjipendi?
Kwa nini?
Yaani unawezaje patana tu na mtu kwa street alafu uende ukachapiane naye?
Kalishizo mashine.
Ulitumia raba eh?
Kwani bado mnatumia raba?
Okay, ngoja niulize jamaa. Nani hapa hivi amepimwa hivi majuzi?
Pale kwa Mwangi, si ni 10 bob.
Sijasema kupimwa weight. Saa hizi kupimwa HIV ni haraka na ni bure. Unaweza pimwa kwa clinic na bado unaweza jipimia kwa nyumba yako wewe mwenyewe na self test kit 500 peke yake.
Niende nipimwe, nichipate niko positive. Unajua hakuna kitu naogopa kama hiyo.
Kuko na madawa na kuko na counseling na utaishi maisha yako normal tu. Kuko na HIV si eti ni mwisho.
Wewe uko nayo?
Mimi nilishapima.
Unapoendelea kujikinga kutokana na HIV, tafadhali zingatia taratibu zote za serikali za kujikinga na virusi vya corona.
Afya bora, maisha bora. Jipime, jiinue.
Ruiru Mabati Factory offers best quality mabati at the most affordable prices. We pride in over 10 years experience. Our products have 15-year warranty and are KEBS certified. We manufacture box profile, Europe tile, Jenga tile, corrugated profile, among others in a wide variety of colors. Enjoy our free delivery in just 72 hours. To order, call us now on 0111 050 700. Ruiru Mabati Factory, mali safi kwa bei poa.
Welcome back to NTV at 1 on this Dala edition, where we're in the county of Kisumu, county number 42. And right now we are on the shores of Lake, actually on Lake Victoria itself at the Dunga Hill camp. A beautiful place, I must say. And we're on a boat, so when you see us moving, it's just the lake life. Now, a family in Kahoya Estate within Eldoret town is in distress after being detained in the house by the landlord for failing to pay 3 months rent arrears, and amounting to 20,000 shillings. And as Gabriel Kudaka now reports, a village elder had to break in the door to rescue them.
Then Victoria arrived home at around noon with hopes of getting lunch ready. But instead of lunch, access to the house had been denied. It took the intervention of a village elder to rescue them.
Sasa wakati wa corona rent imekuwa kubwa na nikaongea na landlord nikamwambia nitakuwa nikikulipa shilingi 2,000 kila wiki. Nikafikiria kwamba amenielewa. Lakini nikituma hiyo pesa anafuatisha message akinitusi kwamba nihame kwa ploti yake si ya kulipwa 2,000 na ini hali tumeelewana na yeye. Sasa amekuja leo na nilikuwa ninapika. Ndio bado tunaongea, yeye akafunga mlango.
Hatuwezi kukubali kama wakilishi wa ofisi ya chief watu wawe kijichukulia sheria mkononi ili kutafuta kuangamiza maisha watu wengine.
Ningeomba landlords, hii wakati ingawa imekuwa wakati ngumu, wangeelewa kwa sababu hali ni ngumu.
Bridget says she has been crippled financially due to the medical expenses she has to incur for her ailing daughter.
Kwa wiki natumia shilingi 1,000 kwa sababu ya mguu ako na kidonda ambayo imekaa miaka 2 na mtoto mwenyewe ako na sickle cell. Sasa hata mimi ninasumbukana kwa hii nyumba, nina hustle tu kama mama, watoto wasilale nje.
Gabriel Kudaka, NTV.
To some international news now, and US President Donald Trump has ordered the withdrawal of up to 700 American troops from Somalia by the 15th of January. The US forces have been aiding the Somali government's military battle against Al-Shabaab and Islamic State militants. According to the Pentagon, some of the troops will move to neighboring countries to facilitate cross-border operations. President Trump has issued similar orders in recent months to reduce US forces in Iraq and Afghanistan, criticizing US military interventions for being costly and ineffective. The withdrawal order, which would see the troops redeployed just days before Trump leaves office, reverses the policy of former US Defense Secretary Mark Esper, who was sacked last month after supporting the US presence in Somalia.
What happened here today? We basically...
Yeah, same rules stand. Vehicle comes flying at us, choose to stop, I got a vehicle coming here, it ain't ours. Stop it. I got it.
Let's come back to Africa, and Ghanaians head to the polls on Monday in a heated contest that will revive old rivalries between incumbent President Nana Akufo-Addo and his predecessor John Mahama. Now, although 10 other candidates, including 3 women, are vying for the nation's top job, the vote is a 2-horse race between the two foes who will be slugging it out, I beg your pardon, for the 3rd time. The two leaders stoned a symbolic peace pact in the capital, Accra, committing to use legal means in case of electoral disputes.
Election campaigning wraps up in Ghana this weekend as some 17 million voters prepare to go to the polls for presidential and parliamentary elections on Monday. Campaign posters are everywhere in the streets of Accra. Voters eagerly wait to decide between presidential candidates Nana Akufo-Addo and his predecessor John Mahama. Although the elections are expected to be a closely fought battle between the two heavyweights, 10 other candidates, including 3 women, are vying for the nation's top job. However, John Mahama, ex-president of Ghana, is the main contender against his predecessor and the incumbent Nana Akufo-Addo in Monday's elections. Mahama runs for the opposition National Democratic Congress Party. Akufo-Addo has been given high marks for his handling of the pandemic and his record in education and on providing access to electricity. But the 76-year-old has disappointed some in his performance on tackling graft, the key issue on which he was elected 4 years ago. Despite this, corruption is a difficult issue for Mahama to latch onto, as he himself left office under a cloud of sleaze allegations. Many Ghanaians are worried that vigilantes hired by parties and deployed to provide security for politicians could cause problems at polling stations. Ghana has traditionally managed to contain post-electoral violence and have peaceful transition of power. Akufo-Addo and Mahama signed a symbolic peace pact committing to use legal means in case of electoral disputes and pledging not to promote any violence during the vote or the announcement of results. Even so, there have been pre-election clashes and disagreements over the neutrality of the Electoral Commission, especially on the compilation of the new voters' register. The police say more than 62,000 personnel have been deployed. Either winner will be serving their 2nd and final term.
Chief Justice of the Republic.
Sports now, and Kenyan champions Gor Mahia need at least a goal without conceding against APR of Rwanda to advance to the next stage of the CAF Champions League. Now, Kogalo got a vital away goal in a 2-1 defeat in Kigali a week ago, courtesy of Charles Mwangi. The return leg will be played this afternoon at the Nyayo National Stadium. APR forward and former Gor Mahia attacker Jacques Tuyisenge has been speaking ahead of the match.
Tulikuwa tunatarajia ushindi tukiwa huko away, lakini haikufanyika. Lakini uzuri wa hii competition uko na second chance of which tuko nayo kesho, na tunatarajia kwamba tutatoka na ushindi.
Kumekuwa na tofauti kubwa sana na ile wiki iliyopita. Maana ile wiki nyingine ilipita mazei kidogo wachezaji hatukuwa na wote. Lakini kwa sasa tena kitu inatupatia nguvu zaidi ni Benson Omala amerudi kutoka timu ya taifa vijana, na uni kijana huyu ni kijana kama tutakuwa tunataka bao na kama kama atakuwa naanza kesho, niko na matumaini kubwa sana huyu kijana atakuwa anatupeleka mbele na atakuwa anafunga bao.
Kenya mimi ni mahali nachukulia ni kama nyumbani, kama vile nimekwambia. Mimi kwangu nitakuwa najifeel niko home. Watu nazoeana na wao, najuana na wao. Hata washabiki wa Gor Mahia unajua wengi ni marafiki zangu na wapenda sana. Sasa nitakuwa tu najifeel niko home. Tofauti tu ni kwa sababu nitakuwa niko kwa kazi, lakini kwangu nitakuwa na feel niko home kabisa. Hakuna challenge naweza nikasema, kwa sababu mimi unajua watu ukiwa unawaheshimu nao wanakuheshimu, mara mingi ni kufanya tu kazi zile vitu naombwa na timu yangu nafanya, lakini najua tu Gor Mahia kwa roho ni timu yangu.
In Sunday's only FKF Premier League fixtures, Kariobangi Sharks will be hosted by Nzoia Sugar at Sudi Stadium in Bungoma County. Kariobangi Sharks are seeking to keep their winning momentum after they beat Wazito 4-0 in their first match of the 2020-2021 season last week. Nzoia Sugar